guys, welcome back to the Lotus Life Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Fisher. If this is your first time tuning into this podcast, welcome and thank you so very much for being here. If you're a repeat listener, I love you guys. I appreciate your support so very much, and I appreciate your time. Speaking of time, that is one of the major currencies in an exchange of any sort. It is a currency. We often think of currency as being dinero, money, paper money, Venmo, credit cards, all of this. We think that money is the main currency. But time is also a currency. I can spend time with you. You can spend time with me. I just today left a yoga group that was on Facebook. I'm not going to say the name, I'm not going to say anything about it, but I've been a member of that group for, over 10 years probably. And there was a comment that the host recently posted on the page that I disagreed with. I'm not going to state the comment. It's not important. The reason I left is, and I want to talk about that. I want to shed some light on money and the wellness industry, specifically within the yoga world. And if you are listening to this and you are a yoga teacher, you're a yoga student, you are a massage therapist, you are someone who gets massages, if you are an acupuncturist, if you are anyone who's in service of health or wellness to others, and if you are a consumer of health and wellness, you need to listen to this episode, because where I'm going to take you is diving you into the understanding of wealth economy and how your conscientious, heart-aligned support of other beings and buying their services with your time and with your money increases the conscientious and awakened and enlightened economy itself. And if you are on the service end, like I am, giving yoga lessons, coaching, etc., if you're on the service end of that, you also need to be aware of how your products and what you charge contribute to that overall love and heart aligned and conscious economy. So stay tuned. Let's talk all about money. I have a very interesting relationship with money, where for a very long time, I had no idea the power it held over me. I knew and talked a little bit about it and learned a little bit about it in my yoga teacher training back in 2007, where it was important to really understand this idea of you should charge what you're worth. And I got that on a conscientious level. I got that on a cerebral level, but my body did not. It took me several years, almost a decade later, 2 decades later almost, to really dive into and integrate what your worth actually meant. And then it's only until very recently have I completely understood that my worth is also in the currency of time and attention, where I place my time and attention. And when others are giving their time and attention to me, such as you are right now, while either watching this YouTube video of this recording or listening to this podcast, I am acutely aware of and integrating your time and attention. And to me, that is a huge currency. So I thank you again. When yoga teachers in particular, that's my niche, so I'm going to talk about that a lot, but you can substitute in whatever service-based category you are in, being that you are a service provider or you are a consumer, a receiver, a buyer of that service. Okay, this works for both ends, but let's start with yoga teachers. There's this huge misconception that yoga needs to be for free and that money is bad and dirty and evil. It has no place inside of yoga. I remember probably back in 2012 when I was my first year into Lotus Life Yoga Center version 1.0. first time it was open. There was a gentleman that came in and was interested in classes. His like cousin went there or something, and he was a man probably in his 50s, late 50s, I'd have to say. So, keep that in mind with the generational thing. But he looked at my schedule and looked around a little bit and looked at me and he goes, I never forget this. He goes, huh, like that. Huh. It's interesting how, he says, it's interesting how you charge for your yoga classes. Huh. It's interesting how you charge for your yoga classes. And I don't know how, but I kept my cool. I kept my calm. And I replied back, well, this isn't a non-for-profit. I'm for profit. And this business keeps the lights on, not only here, but at my home as well. It pays the bills. So yeah, I charge. And he took the schedule but never came back. And I felt very empowered in that moment to not second guess. Of course not. I was in business. I'm not going to second guess me making money. But it really shocked me that even then, 2000, that was the 2012 around there, that we still had people who believed that yoga and money should not mix, that you should always be either charging a very low price for yoga or you should be free or that it should be always donation based. And I'm here to disrupt that. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people right now in the wellness industry and the coaching industry in particular who are disrupting this doctrination, this vernacular of money is evil, money doesn't belong, money somehow corrupts or taints the elixir of purity of spirituality. Nothing could be further from the truth. I'll get to what I believe money is in just a second and how it relates to the wellness economy and the enlightened economy that needs to come up more. We need more of this. But first, let's go a little bit deeper into yoga. So first of all, there was a time period where yoga and the exchange of money was not a thing. You often had to renounce your worldly possessions and then enter into an ashram where you had a guru, you were a disciple, and you owned nothing. And it was through your efforts, through your hard work, that actually kept the ashram alive and going, that brought the things that brought money in were donation based, basically where the guru would go out and teach and collect some sort of money, or people would drop off food, people would donate their time, their goods, their wares, whatever they could to keep the ashram growing. Because the idea wasn't that money was bad. The whole point of that was to keep the ashram and the guru focused on nothing but spirituality. We can't have a guru go out and try to do a 9 to 5 jive, hustling and bustling and delivering pizzas or whatever just to make a buck. We had to have the guru seated on the meditation platform and in deep contemplation. Why? Because we don't want them distracted. We want them to go deep into consciousness, into samadhi, and then come out every now and again and tell us, what's it like? Right? Like that's the whole point of not having a ashram be for profit, so that they can focus on non-worldly possessions. And also there's a detachment there of, I am my possessions, therefore I should let go of them completely before I go into the ashram. We're letting go of identity. There's some ego death there that's involved, but that's another podcast, another talk. But the whole reason that we don't really want our gurus working is because, again, we need them focused on the spiritual task at hand, which is enlightenment and freedom. And we need them to report back to the busy householder like you and I and tell us what's going on there and what's it really like and how do I get there. They're paving the path for us. You and I have a different role. We're busy householders. Most of us are not taking off into ashrams. Most of us are not going to become a guru in the truest sense of the word, meaning you are the head of some sort of organization that has its own ashram. But nonetheless, you are going to be a guru. You already are for someone. You are ushering your children. I'm getting off topic here, but I want you to feel the enlightenment. You don't have to become a guru to teach, to lead, okay? That's important. Most of us, if you're in that service-based economy where you're providing a service, art lessons, cooking lessons, dance lessons, massages, acupunctures, tarot card readings, yoga classes, etc., what you want to think of is that you still have to make money. And the money that you make allows you to eat, allows you to even go out yourself and get massages, even go out yourself and take care of yourself and relax at the spa, to become the student again and take extracurricular education courses. It's a necessity that you make money to continue to foster and develop a relationship to your own craft. That's it. Why on earth do we have such a stigma and such a dirty feeling of asking for money as yoga teachers? So I'll bounce back for a second here. So the group that I just left on Facebook, there was a comment that basically said, hey, a reminder to the group. I know I said I wasn't going to say the comment, but I'm realizing now that there needs to be a little more context. I'll keep it really brief. Basically, the comment said, listen, just post about free things and don't promote. This is what the group's all about. Don't promote. Just, ask people questions and offer free things. And I almost commented back a couple different times, and then I just decided, no, I'm not going to be able, this is not the time or the place, Kim, to start teaching about wealth consciousness. Just remove yourself. And I felt really good to do it because I was voting for myself with that removal. Who you surround yourself with is really important. Not only how they act and what they say, but their intention. So to me, the problem I had was that it could only be free things. So again, right there, if it doesn't have money attached, it's pure, it's beautiful, it can live here. Talk all about it. But if there's money attached, it's not pure, it's not good for this group. That division cannot happen. That division is what causes the problem in the first place, that no one can charge the amount that they're worth, and no one will pay the amount that it's worth. Also, that they're worth. Let me follow that thought for a second, because I feel the passion coming through. When I say I have a course for you guys, it's $44 a month, and it goes for 4 months. What I'm saying to you is I'm energetically excited to serve you, and here is the price that's aligned with my heart, and here is the gift of you getting to pay for this. Because when you as the consumer buy that at $44 a month for 4 months, by the way, that's my MMM package. If you're wondering, like, why that is so specific, Kim, but that is a membership that I have coming up starting next month. So that's the price. It's $44 a month for 4 months. That I see that as a gift to you, because if you decide to buy, you and I enter into an energetic exchange of love. I didn't just willy-nilly think of that number or the name or the duration. I had a deep channeling over actually the course of several months, waiting for the answer to come on how long, what's the duration going to be, what's the price going to be, what's the name going to be, what's the intention of this space that I'm holding. And all of that came together in so many cool ways, right down to the name and what M's represent and the numerology of it, how it's related to 2, which is also, okay, there's a whole thing there. But my point is, I held deep integrity, and there's such alignment with my highest yes and the source and spirit when I created that, that I can stand confidently and say, this price is divine pricing. This is so beautiful that when you go to buy it, we are in even higher exchange, higher love, and higher clarity of who we are as a group and who we are as a community. When you buy it, you're also voting for yourself. I see this. This is the consumer now looking at the MMM, the mastery, manifesting mastery membership that I have coming up. Someone sees that and they see the price and they feel the energetic alignment from me and they buy. What they're doing is they're voting for themselves. They're saying, I value this offering. I value this service so much so that I am going to buy this for $44 a month. Now, not only does my money show up, but I show up. And so the other thing that's being exchanged, that's even more important than money, is your time and your attention. Money is just a symbol of relationship. I'm going to say that again. Money is nothing but a symbol of a relationship that exists between two people. It's a symbol of love. It's a symbol of relationship. It's a symbol of trust. It's a symbol and a sign of respect. When those things are in the room, money flows. And all it is a symbol of the love and prosperity that's abundant between all of the individuals who are in exchange of their time, their respect, their love, and their greatness. Does that make sense? So no matter if you are on the service side or if you are on the buying side, you are voting with your money and you are saying, I want this person who's doing this incredible service to thrive. And you're also subconsciously saying, and I deserve to receive all of that good. Isn't that incredible? I deserve to receive all. That's why you don't second guess when you go out and you spend amazing money on an amazing meal at your favorite restaurant. What are you buying there? Natalia Benson always goes into this example. Why do we go out to eat? And to save us time is usually what she says on cooking a meal. But I always think, I agree with that, but I always think it's because I treat myself. I go to my favorite restaurant for my favorite food because I'm voting for myself. I say today it matters that I treat myself well. And I'm voting for this restaurant because I love the owner and I love the servers and I love the food and I love the message of the restaurant. The integrity is there. Hell's yes, I'm going to keep that business open. Hell's yes, I'm going to support. So now when we step back and stop focusing on the money exchange and we think about the way we're voting, we really can start to feel empowered. Remember, you're not just voting for the person doing the service, you are voting for yourself. If I have an offering that stands to change your life and has tools and modules and a system in place for you to awaken into your highest yes, who's standing to benefit here? Yeah, you're giving me money. Yes, you're giving me your time, but you are the one receiving it. When you buy something, if we want it to be discounted, we go, why is the price so high? Who does she think she is to charge that much? Why is the price so high on that artwork? Why is the price so high on that photograph? Why are her prices or his prices so high on the massages? Why? We keep asking why? What you're asking and what you're questioning is not the service, actually. You're questioning yourself. Why am I worth that much? Who am I to think that I can afford something that states it's worth so much? I'm not worth that much. I'm going to look for the discounted offerings because I believe I'm discounted. I will go for the things that I believe keep me safe, which, if you're not careful, repeats the same samskaras, our wounds, over and over and over again. What would it be like to buy something that's a little bit of a stretch? and let it shock your nervous system. Now you've done your homework, you know the person, you know there's integrity involved, and of course you looked at your finances. You're not going to catapult yourself into bankruptcy, right? Like, please heed my words here that you need to know your numbers, and you need to know that that person is very aligned and there's integrity and love and you feel safe there. Okay. Disclaimer, disclaimer, make sure you do that stuff. But once that's in place, if you are feeling the call, but you're wondering if you can afford it, or you're wondering if you deserve it, I want you to remember this podcast and I want you to think, I am deserving of this. I'm voting for myself. I receive the good of this transaction. This is for me. I don't need the discount anymore. I'm voting higher up, because the higher I climb in relationship, in love, in respect, in care and integrity, yes, the higher the price tags are going to go. But guess what? You're aligning with those people and it's filling your cup, which changes your identity, which broadens your perspective, which brings you into a different creative state. And now you're taking action and making different networks and making different observations and saying different things. You're speaking differently. You're behaving differently. You're showing up differently. And guess who gets to make more money as a result of that? You. Now you're leveling up. You're finding that you have more money in your bank account. And guess what? You jump into the next thing that was expensive to the 1 year ago you. That was the thing you couldn't afford. But because you changed your mindset with money, you now can afford it. And now you buy that next thing. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you checked your bank account, you can afford it, and you're aligned with the person. They're respectful and there's lots of integrity. Great. You buy it. Woo, it shocks you and alives you, and you dive in and it opens the mind up to the next level, right? And then you learn all these things, and then you are able to hold this space for people differently. I'm speaking to the service providers out there again. Now you are holding space differently in a larger amount, which brings in more relationship, more love. You feeling me here? You see where I'm going? You're bringing in more integrity. You're bringing in more respect, which brings in more money, right? So it's not that we need to worry or think about the money. We need to think about, what's the relationship that I am stepping into here? Is this going to bring me the next level, the next generation, the next evolution of myself? Then I'm going to fucking throw down, because I trust that I'm supported, and this is going to give me the tools to level up my thinking and my consciousness 100%. I will happily pay the money, which is a representation of the exchange of my time. I will happily spend the money because this is a representation of my respect for myself. Why do we buy nice things for ourselves? Why do we go out and shop and buy nice things? It's because it's a nod of self-respect for ourselves, right? And think of how you feel after you do it. You're like, oh my God, look at that new coffee pot I bought. That's so nice. It's some Danish design right there. That's never going to break. Right? That's something. Now I treasure it. It has this woo energy to it where suddenly it's like, whew, I set it out on the counter. It gets cleaned, right? We even treat the things that are expensive differently. There's a level of respect and care and time. Why? Because it's not about the money. It's about the relationship that went into it to obtain it. Are you understanding? So do not be afraid to ask for what you're worth, because when you as a service provider step into that, you are immediately creating a space for the person that buys to say the same thing about themselves. This is why yoga instructors need to charge for their private lessons. This is why yoga instructors shouldn't be afraid to put a good price tag on an event or a workshop. Maybe you'll get less people, but and it goes back to what you're trying to attract and what you're trying to do, and it needs to be aligned with integrity for yourself. But just always check, am I doing this because I'm afraid to ask for what I want? Or is this price lower because, you know what, I'm looking to cast a wide net right now and I want to get a lot of people in the room. And maybe the next thing I offer, I'll bump the price because I want it to be a little more streamlined. I want it to be people who are really serious about this work. Less people in the room, but more powerful work because we're all focused together, right? So you'll know, you got to think about that strategy. But when it comes to money, I want to go back to this. If you're sitting there struggling with, I need to raise my prices, or I need to ask for more money, or I just need to quit working so hard. I work so hard. I've got so many jobs. I need to start making, I need to stop doing, I need to, I need to get this sentence out is what I need to do. But I need to do less and make more with the less things I have chosen. That means something. You're going to have to raise your prices or you're going to have to ask for a raise. Ooh, that's a hard one. Or is it? Let's go into that. What does asking for a raise symbolize? The first thing that should come to mind is you're worth more. Hells yeah. Now, let's think about that. If you know you're worth more, what happens to the price? It goes up, doesn't go down. Why? Because money going up in number, in price, indicates a deeper connection to your time, your intelligence, your love, your passion, your respect, and your willingness to stick around. Again, time. When all of those things are amplified, we ask for more money. We want the raise. And what happens when we don't get it? We go, oh, I guess you don't appreciate me. But even more so on the employer's side, I feel bad for them because they're not seeing your value. And that means that they don't value the entire culture that's there, right? Because if there's someone that's worthy of a raise and you're not willing to meet them, that means you're willing to let that person go, which means that you're willing to let an asset go for the entire business. So that's a reflection of where the business owner's mind is at. Maybe they can't financially, but more than often they probably can. They just won't, which is great, which is fine. Guess what you get to do? You get to leave that group and you go align with a place that matches your wealth consciousness. Just like I left the group today. No hard feelings. I just realized I need to do what's good for me. Once again, it presented me with a choice of, you know what? I don't think like that anymore. I want to see your free offerings. That's great. Free is beautiful. But I also want to see the offerings that cost wow amounts of money because there's something there. I'm going to read about that more. I'm going to look into that. And if my soul and your soul are feeling aligned, it's going to be a no-brainer. And we're entering into a whole nother category and area of relationship. If it's not for me, it's not for me. Now, if I see a higher price and I balk, which I've done before, trust me, I'm still learning on this path just like you guys. I sometimes get shook a little when I see people's prices. But my question is always, why are they charging that much? But then I always now follow up with, okay, if they're doing it, it's because they're showing me an example of it can be done for me too. Now, usually when people are charging astronomical amounts of money, you'll see somewhere in the caption, like, for yoga teachers who have 10 years plus experience, or for people who are making six figures that are ready to step in higher. Like they're really niching down to people who are already making a certain amount of money or who are already doing something for a certain time period. And so you can charge more because it's such an intense level of concentration and focus. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like a pyramid. As the relationship deepens, as it accelerates, as the love and the intensity accelerates, so does the price tag. Why? Because it's a symbol of the integrity and the intensity of the relationship when you are there in the room with those people or with that person. I hope this serves you. I said a lot there. kind of what happens when I'm unscripted and I feel passionate. Again, this is like fresh blood because I this just happened today, and I thought, okay, yeah, I really want to share this with you guys. The big takeaways are: understand that money is a sign and it's a symbol of relationship. The deeper the relationship, the more time that's exchanged, the higher the price. And so that's good. Know that if you are the service provider, you should be raising your prices if people get more contact time with you. And if you are on the buying side of that, that's what you're getting. You're getting more time. On the buying side of it, don't forget that when you buy someone's high ticket item, you're really saying, I'm worth it. And we already know this. I gave the example of when you ask for a raise. We know that more time, more effort, more passion, more love, more everything that we're giving is worth more. So we're not afraid to ask for the money in the form of a raise, but we're also doing the same thing when we buy someone's high ticket item, or we buy that really nice sweatshirt, or we buy that really nice house or automobile, or we treat ourselves on that nice vacation. We're saying, I'm worth it. So when you see someone's package, pricing, whatever, and you balk a little bit, I want you to stay there in that zone. I want you to do the work and feel into that. And ask yourself, what would it be like if I were at the point where I could charge that? And what sort of life, what sort of services, what offerings am I doing that I can actually charge that much? Because really there's an intense relationship there. And really the other point is reframing. It's not about the money. It's more about the relationship that you're creating with other people. That will bring in not only more relationship and money, but will bring integrity, which is what needs to be there to elevate money as a tool for consciousness, for awakened beings. If I'm buying oh yeah, this is where I wanted to start the whole thing, and I'll finish it with this. I'll finish where I wanted to start, where I didn't start. This is a nice entry point into a thought I want to leave you with. If you buy, let's say you go into my MMM, the Manifesting Mastery membership. What you're going to learn in that is how to sustain momentum and deal with the intensity of emotions that come as you do the work. And you learn when you deal with those intense emotions how strong you actually are. And that process is you reclaiming your power. You realize, wow, I never really lost it in the first place. I just thought I did. Look at me. I'm so strong. And with that builds momentum, velocity and momentum. Then we give you practical tools to actually drill down and plan every single day a way to start knocking down your goals every single day in real time. You're going to be leveraging these tools in a practical and easy way. It's called spiritual strategy. It's the word I give it. We need it. We need to make progress. We need to hold ourselves accountable. When you do it, some of you in this group, in this membership, are going to create something. You're going to awaken something inside of you. You're going to say, oh my God, I forgot I love doing that thing. And I forgot that I can do it really well. And I'm going to make a course. And let's say you then get a Wix website together and you start selling courses online on whatever it is you're good at. Some people that just got done with the 2-week Manifesting Mastery course have an interest now in breath work because I showed them breath work. They love it so much. One person actually said, I want to go out and teach this specifically. Let's keep that example going. Now, let's say she does it. She goes out and she teaches breath work. She then charges money for the time and love that she puts in, and someone else takes her course. It not only changes their life, makes them feel better, but then they become filled with energy to the point where they remember their why and purpose, and they go back to school to become a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or a mentor of some sort. They then achieve that goal and they start to charge money for their services. which then affects their students, who then become filled with light and love and realize their purpose and are shown how to go out and achieve what they want. And they do so and they make money and set their students, and so on and so on and so on and so on. This is the web of conscious economy that gets to start because you voted for yourself, because you bought something that was already rooted in this love-based conscious economy. Do you see that? That is the power. That is the power that you and I have to be in an aligned relationship with integrity. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. And I deeply, deeply hope this served you. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye.